this is going to be a little clip section video. I've still not decided what I'm doing on UI, user interface. So we're going to start at the very top left. Menu, you could also click your version of the pause or options button. And it'll bring up every single, how do I say it? At least in this game, it'll bring up, obviously, every single setting that you won't see in the main area, which we'll get to the main area later. So, pause, you have your custom battles, which is both basically just private matches. But you do not get, obviously, any XP or anything from private matches. You have a thing here called World War. Ignore that, basically, because that only comes around once every so often. When it comes around, I might do a tutorial or something on it. You got tutorials, which will probably explain some things better than I, some things not. And the tutorials aren't great on here. They're mostly just combat tutorials, and even then, they don't really make much sense. Definitely do the playing tutorial, obviously. You got single missions. They really don't matter. You don't have to do them. Dynamic campaign. Historical campaign. No one really does these. I mean, there might be a few people out there who does them. Streams and replays. That's basically just to go get, as it's called, a replay of a vehicle game. Like, if anyone played Black Ops 2 back in the day, you used to be able to go back in the theater and watch a match you did, even if it was a public match. Tournaments, you don't need to worry about that. Squadrons. How do I explain? We'll get to Squadrons some other time. I'm not going to get into that right now. You got Leaderboards, which is just, again, world leaderboards. Common stuff like you'd find in any other COD or Battlefield type game. Controls. That's obviously makes sense. Here are your controls. I can't really show you any of them right now because my control setup isn't working properly. And you got your options. Your usual sound, main parameters of what kind of servers you want to select. I have Russian. I have US servers, your UI scale, how big you want it, your gamma. I did never realize that before. Loading screen filter. Really, everything else, you know what options are. That's crossplay. I might put in a clip at the very beginning of this. But cross-platform gameplay, you always want this on. If not, to be honest, your matches are not going to be nearly as filled, nor do I think it even allows it. Only PlayStation Network players and leaderboards. No, you don't want that on. But again, these are all the other things. I will go through my settings and my controls when everything's working properly again. But right now, guys, you're not as tendency to screw some things up. Not going to deal with that right now. So, like I said, that's your menu, that's your options. This will be where basically your clan tag is if you're in a squadron. Right? A squadron tag. This is where the name is that you chose to use, whether it's PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. Obviously, to battle. Now, you would for me you could either bring the mouse up to it and click it, and it'll take you to a battle, or I'd be able to hit square if I was down here doing something. Now, see how it says triangle realistic battles? If I were to click triangle, or whatever it is for you guys, it brings up every other kind of battle that there is. There's ground arcade, air realistic, ground realistic, naval arcade, naval realistic. There's even simulator battles where it's a lot more in depth, but that'll be something I show you a different day. I'm mostly gonna focus on ground realistic battles because in my opinion they're the most fun and they are the most common played by players. Even arcade battles are played a lot less. Air Assault Arcade, which is basically you play it once a day and you get uh, trophies or like boosters and shit from it. World War, which again I said don't worry about it. War Thunder League, which is just another tournament. Events and tournaments, custom matches or custom battles, which is just basically private matches. Uh, the next you have how many silver lions you have. Silver lions are what you use to buy vehicles. That's the best way. What you use to buy things. So let's. Of course, I don't have any modifications, but I will show you a vehicle. So I'll actually we'll do all three of these in once. So Golden Eagles is if I'd be able to. I won't go to it right now, but I'd be able to put money into this game and it will come out in Golden Eagles. Real life money I could put into the game and it'll come out as Golden Eagles. So Silver Lions. Scroll down. Here's a vehicle that I have not bought yet. I'd be able to go to and I hit order. Now, before you be able to order a vehicle, you have to do what's called research a vehicle. Let's go to the vehicle I have. This researching a vehicle and buying a vehicle is different for each BR battle rating and tier in the game. And I should have explained this earlier, and I'm sorry I'm only getting to it now. Uh, tiers, how do I explain it? The only way to, not the only way, but the fastest way to unlock a vehicle in the next tier, so how this goes from tier 3, or rank, as this is called, to rank 4, the fastest way to do that is to work on the vehicle that is one tier and right and one BR below it. So, in other words, the fastest way to work on this vehicle would be this vehicle. This is the only exception to that rule is premium vehicles over here, which we'll get into at a different time. Because this you need real money for to put in. Uh, so the fastest way to work on this vehicle would be this vehicle. Or the second fastest way would be another vehicle in this tier at the highest part of its tree. So it would be this Sherman right here would be the best to work on this Sherman and this Sherman. Second best for this Sherman, first best for this Sherman. I hope that makes sense. You can use a vehicles from tier 3 to work on vehicles at the max tier and battle rating, but it's going to be extremely slow. So when you get a kill in War Thunder, you get what's called Silver Lions, which I just explained to you. That's your in-game currency, and research. Research is basically how to. I don't know necessarily how to describe it other than really it's just another bar that you have to go through. Just another thing you have to go through to get a vehicle. You have to go through two different things: having the amount of money, in-game money, Silver Lions, to buy, and having enough research points in that vehicle. So each kill you get a certain amount. Each kill you get in War Thunder, you get a certain amount of RP and a certain amount of Silver Lions. Silver Lions obviously go towards your bank. RP will go directly to the vehicle you are using. There's no way to save it up and then use it all out. No, each time you unlock a vehicle, you have to immediately select another vehicle to research. That is, sorry, to research. Now, some of these you'll see that I skipped some. I'll explain this a little later when we get down to this part of the UI down here. But basically, you can only research one vehicle at a time. If I hit research here, then the bar turns yellow, and I need so much RP, research points, to unlock a vehicle. I guess actually the best way to describe it would be XP to a gun. So obviously you need a certain amount of XP to get uh, a level to unlock the next gun in COD or Battlefield. Oh, and you always cap out 100 level. At level 100, there is nothing beyond that. So that kind of describes these three. This is for premium time. We'll talk about that at a different time. This is called Battle Pass Shop. This is to buy the Battle Pass, which you need Golden Eagles, which again is real money. Either the basic version, the version with 10 levels straight off the bat, and or to buy 10 progress points, which is, I believe, one level at a time. Which I always just buy that and then. Right. So this is the shop. Quite literally is what it is. It's a shop. You go here, you can buy Golden Eagles, which again, it costs real money, which Golden Eagles help. You could research faster. You can get premium time. Oh, and premium time, I should explain what premium time does. All it does, if you buy it, is it gives you more research points and silver lions per kill. And overall, when the match is over, I will show eventually the end of a game. Probably one of the next few clips, actually. So, let's see here. Shop, Golden Eagles, premium account, which is the same thing as right here. Inventory. Inventory is basically where your boosters and wagers are. Wagers are just kind of like... wager is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's betting. It's a wager. For this wager, if I... we'll do this wager better. I could make a stake, so it'll take that much amount of silver lines away from me. And to do this, I need to defeat 10 players. It just says defeat 10 players. That's actually a bad... that's the best squad wager. Alright, so make a stake. Battles for which this was not achieved. So in each battle, I need to get the best squad, which is... obviously a squad is with your friend. I only have 4 chances, I believe it is, before the stake's over and it takes my money and it only gives me whatever level I get. Which, again, I don't use these that often. People do to make a lot of money at once. I don't. These are your boosters up here. Usually they look like this or something. Similar, highly similar list. Let's go back in the shop. Item shop. This is kind of like the best way to describe it is CSGO skins and shit. CSGO unboxing? Is that what they're called? I forget what they're called because I was not in the CSGO nor has it. So I'd be able to get this amount of money here. Or sorry, get money, put it in the game, get this much silver lions, and then out of this is what it contains here. It contains 300 more Golden Eagles, so basically it gets you back what you lost. 120,000 silver lions, a random wager, premium account, or a free vehicle, a cheaper vehicle. So basically, I could gamble and get possibly a vehicle a hell of a lot cheaper than if I were to buy it right out. So what I mean by that, let's see here. Right here. Yeah, this is called a Jag Panther. This, if I were to buy this and somehow get that vehicle, I basically bought that vehicle for 300 golden lions. Or, yeah, golden eagles. If I see how much that vehicle actually cost without gambling, it's 6,000 golden eagles, which I think is roughly around $50 or something like that. And 300 golden eagles is like a couple bucks. How much is it? We'll check right now. Oh yeah, I forgot they decided to be a-holes and took it away. Basically, 300 golden eagles is $2. So you could possibly gamble your way to get a vehicle. That's on you. I don't do that. To be honest, I never. Well, here you go. Here you go to help. It explains everything you do, probably better in detail than what I'm going to, or less in detail than what I'm gonna do. Encyclopedia. Again, it kind of explains everything. This is going to be definitely more in detail than what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing an overhaul. If you go through this, I'm telling you it'll be a lot easier. Or it won't be a lot easier, sorry. Changelog, exactly what it sounds like. That is what got changed in the recent patch. Credits, the credits of the game. License agreement, what you agreed to on entering. Wiki, I'm not going to say that one in case if YouTube decides to be an a-hole about this. Support, so again, I could go there. That's the YouTube support, or sorry, YouTube Gaijin support. If something were to happen to my game, I could contact them and possibly get some stuff back or whatever. This is the events and tournaments. So if you remember earlier, I said about sim battles. Events and tournaments, uh, you can see your simulator battles here, which is our quote-unquote events, even though they're not really. Uh, you see well, it says straight out, sorry. Simulator battles. These are the simulator battles you could choose from. Uh, Helicopter battles, that's an event, but other times they'll have other events here. Sometimes you'll make money off of them, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll make in-game money off of them, sometimes you won't. Like April Fool's events. They are uh, April Fool's event is basically mostly not only for a way to Gaijin, the company, to test out a new mechanic. It's also a way for us to have fun uh, instead of the daily grind of everything. Like the last uh, April Fool's event was I think it was, I can't even remember. I think it was highly futuristic tanks. Like even for, I'm in 2021, that's when this is being recorded. Obviously, you'll see from the date that this video goes up. But it was highly futuristic vehicles, even for us now, to basically dick around with. And what a lot of times Gaijin is doing is that's how they test out new mechanics that they might put into the game or might not. Like ships were not in the game at first, but at one point they tested it through an April Fool's event, and they thought, okay, this is a possibility we have in the game. We could have in the game. These are tutorials. You're gonna have to go through them to be able to play the game at all. A few of them. I never went through the ship tutorials because I started playing the game before ships were at it. This is the so you'd be able to click on here. This is your battle pass. As you can see, I'm level 94. I basically have everything already. Uh, you'd be able to put your right stick to the right, and these are the challenges to make the battle pass go a little quicker. Obviously, you see that I have some not done because there's no point in having them done when you're already got everything. Well, almost everything. The rest is stuff you don't really care about. This is basically, again, challenges to help you work on your battle pass points. You'll get two per. You'll get 2 battle pass points per challenge you do here, and you can only do 2 challenges of these simple ones a day. Eventually, you'll be able to get what's called a special task, and to get a special task, it costs uh, some of these guys down here. It costs these guys. And after you get some money, you could buy special. You go to a war bond shop, it's called, and you could buy special tasks. Where are they? Oh, right here. You'd be able to buy a special task, and it's going to be It's gonna be harder than normal tasks, but it's a way for you to get both battle pass points and uh, stuff to unlock from here. So, what is this? This is called the War Bond Shop, as I just said. In the War Bond Shop, you will be able to use war bonds, and you could buy certain things. So you could buy 2 boosters per every time the war bond shop resets, because it resets kind of like a battle pass every so often. It'll reset, and then you gotta do it all over again. You could buy backups for your vehicle. So I'll explain what backups are when we get into the actual combat of the game. I understand this is taking a while to actually get there, but I'd rather have you watch a video and learn as you're playing the game, dicking around with the game, than having somebody in your ear who might not want to do that. Again, more backups. Way to basically another crate. Basically, you could use your war bonds, buy this, and it'll give you a random booster from plus 30% to plus 900%, which 900% is really good. If you were to do these, which some people do, I don't, because I find them way too tedious to do, and I don't like playing War Thunder to get angry at anymore. If you were to do 12 before the shop resets, which like I said, I think it resets every time the battle pass resets. I'm not 100% sure. If you were to do 12 special tasks, which I said they're going to be harder than normal tasks, and have 3,100 war bonds, you would be able to buy this vehicle for only in-game money. For only in-game stuff that you did. When, as you can see here, it costs 1,000 golden eagles. What is that? I think $5. But again, you get it for completely free. Besides your time, obviously. What's the most expensive one on here? No. So the most expensive one on here is probably these 3 right here. Or, yeah, these 3 right here. So, P-63A, which is a Russian. I'd be able to, I think that's $15 or something like that. I'd be able to, if I do these requirements, I could get that vehicle for free instead of paying $50, $15 for it. That's kind of all the war bond shop is. Whenever you bring up this area right here, the war bond shop will be in the lower right. All inactive items. This is just a way to your inventory to activate boosters, wagers, and shit like that. Alright, we're gonna go down to here. We'll go over to Italy for this part. Oh, sorry. So, you will start off with 2 crew. So 2 crew areas, 2 vehicle areas that you can put a crew. Vehicle. So 2 crew areas that you put a vehicle. I personally always buy until it costs the Golden Eagles, except for USA, because that's my primary country that I'm always going to play. So, and you could have presets for it. So obviously here's a preset, and if you look over here, I have presets. They all mean something. These are all BR, and besides the air one. That's just always what I go to for my air gameplay. These are all BRs that I'll be playing, that I play constantly. So I save them as a preset. If you are only going to join this game to play air combat, which at this point I don't think you will be, but if you are to only play air combat, only play jets and planes and shit, I'm probably going to put this video directly at the front of everything else, even though this is like one of the last videos I'm going to record. Or clips, sorry. If you're only going to play this for air combat, you only really need one crew slot. It gives you 2 off the bat for each country, uh, but you really only need 1 to 2 crew slots. You don't need a whole many if you're only playing aircraft, which I don't. I like playing both aircraft and ground. For some countries, like for Italy, you'll see here in a second, I have almost no aircraft. Aircraft for Italy. That's because I just prefer to play ground for Italy. Italy's air is not that interesting to me. Like I said, this is presets, and obviously you see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted that way too fast, didn't I? Because I'm a retard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. USA, Germany, Ru- Russia, Great Britain, Japan, China, Italy, France, Sweden. Those are all the countries you can play in the damn game. They are adding a new country next patch called for Israel to represent Israeli vehicles. I think that's how you pronounce that. I hope, because I actually like Israel, so I don't want people from there to be pissed off at me. Uh, each time you start a new vehicle, you have to start your cruise again, which I'm going to explain cruise as the very next thing. Uh, so we'll skip the crew part. Besides what I told you earlier, which is you each time you get a new vehicle, you have to put it in a crew if you want to play it, and then that crew's rating. But I'll explain that later. Presets, I explain that. So down here, squad. Exactly what it sounds like. It's a squad members. You know what a squad member is from Fortnite, COD Warzone, even just COD normal nowadays, even Battlefield. Any free game you play, a squad is your close team that you could talk to. Because this game doesn't obviously have free mic like COD multiplayer lobby of free for all or fucking TDM. You'd be able to click on here, and then you would be able to select the name. So, if I were to go here, I could type in the name of any person as long as they tell me their name up here, what their name is here, where I said earlier. Uh, I'd be able to type in their name, and then I'd be able to go to them, click their name, and then I'd hit send message, profile, invite to squad, remove contact, or friend request, block, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, it wouldn't say remove contact, it would say add contact. That way, then instead of constantly typing in their name, it would be at your friends list, fought together, squadron, or contacts. The next, this is your invites. Now that I said this, I'm probably going to put this video directly at the front. Because in no way does it tell you this, besides that encyclopedia, which no one reads. Or sorry, not encyclopedia, help. That help that no one reads. This is where it is, down here. You can see my mouse. Here it is in the middle, almost the middle of the screen now. Now follow it down to here, where it says invites. That's, what the fuck? That's where it's going to be. It will glow like this when you have a new invite. The next one down is contacts. Again, it's the same way to bring this thing up, which we had before. It's like a tab way to get to your friends and everything. Close out. Your next is chat. You will get messages you could join the chat and talk to people directly, or you'll have a squadron, or if somebody sees your name in game, they could select your name and then hit send message, which you get hate mail, or at least I get hate mail from because people think I'm hacking, even though this game there's basically no hackers. There is some sketchy shit sometimes that you'll see, but there's no hackers. Almost none. Now I say that, I'm going to run into something sketchy. The next is your new messages. Oh, I don't know really how to explain it other than it just basically is everything that happened within that day. What victories you won, what when you're in all, how many what war bonds you got today, that kind of stuff. Uh, Economics, it'll tell you how in your battles. It'll tell you how much money you won, how much RP you got, everything like that. Uh, I think that's actually everything for that. Oh, let me explain this to you. So I'm going to explain this right now because, again, each and every vehicle also has what's called a repair cost. Oh, one too far. If you are not good in that vehicle, I recommend you not play it because some of these repair costs are expensive. They take directly from here. Now, you hold X or trigger on the vehicle, and you could see everything that gets shown by it. You see the size of the cannon. You see the rotation speed. You basically see the vehicle stats. It's the same thing as looking at gun stats in COD or Battlefield. But if you see, I think it's like the fifth one from the bottom, you see max repair cost. If the vehicle gets destroyed, I have to pay $2,200. Or, sorry, Silver Lions. That takes directly from here. As long as you have auto repair of your vehicle and auto purchasing of ammo refills. I know this sounds confusing because I'm not going to explain it, but what I recommend is just turn it on. Always have the check mark on both of these on, and then leave, and then just try to make as much money as possible like I did here. You really won't have to worry about repair costs. There might be a time where you buy a vehicle with Silver Lions, obviously, and you will get really low on money, so you might have to revert back to playing a lower tier or a vehicle that you're better in, even though it might not be as fun, to make money again until it gets high. Because I've always had people, they'll accidentally click this and then they'll wonder, why does my vehicle have no ammo or uh, cannot be repaired or whatever, or I have to pay for the repair. Just keep it on and leave it go. Simple as that. That's what I suggest. I don't think there's anything else for now. I will get into crew ratings next.